Hello everyone, today I'd love to talk about pivot tables. Pivot tables are a special kind of tables where rows are transformed into columns. It's mainly used for reporting in order to make the numbers much more readable. To illustrate this, I'm gonna use Dremio, which is a data lakehouse solution I've deployed in my home lab. On the screen, you see that I have a model called the Daily Hong Kong Stock Shareholding History, this one. And I have selected three different columns, namely the date, participant ID, and shareholding amount. The idea of this model is that it will show you the shareholding amount of different participants over time. In particular, in this example, I've selected three different dates: the 13th of May, the 24th of June, and the 26th of July. And the results you can see consist of 316 rows. If you ask the question, what's the change of shareholding amount of the participant A00003 over these 3 days, is a bit difficult to tell. Even if I modify the SQL to order them firstly by participant ID and then order them by as of date, it's still difficult because it won't show you all the participant IDs in one go. You still need to scroll down a lot. So the solution to this is to use a pivot table. And before moving on, I need to discuss two more concepts separately. So in general, columns in a table can be categorized into either a dimension or a measure. A dimension is a column which consists of categorical values. Examples are dates and participant IDs. The reason is that they can't be added up. For example, you won't add up the 13th of May with the 24th of June together, and you won't add up A0003 with A0004. In contrast, a measure is a column where values can be added together. In this example, shareholding amount is a measure because shareholding amounts can be added up together. Say you want to find out the total shareholding amount over a given day, regardless of the participants on that day, then you just sum up all the shareholding amounts by as of date. So with that out of the way, the solution to creating a pivot table is to put basically the dimensions, one dimension on the x-axis and the other dimension on the y-axis, with the measure represented as the cell of these two axes. On this second tab, you see my solution to creating a pivot table. The result is that for each participant ID on this column, you see the change over time of the shareholding amount. You can see that for participant 00019, the shareholding amount changes quite dramatically over time. This E represents the power of 10. E7 therefore means 10 to the power 7. And it means that it has increased quite significantly because originally it's just 10 to the power 7, but at the end, on the 26th of July, it has increased to 10 to the power 8. While this pivot syntax, you can see the keyword pivot is not an ANSI standard. It's not in the ANSI standard. It's available in different databases, and it's also available in Dremio. The key to creating this pivot table is that firstly you need to select the columns and put them into a source, into a CTE representing the data you want to get from, and then with that prepared, you simply use the pivot syntax like this. Here you can see that I'm ordering by the last column in descending order, so I simply put the participant ID on the first row, which has the largest shareholding. You might have a different business logic, but the idea of a pivot table is to show and measure much more clearly with two dimensions, one on the x-axis and the other on the y-axis. Thank you.